Hey there, YouTubers. Tina Service here. Again, your host for how to create a $1 million cleaning company using independent contractors. Today, I am going to go over the cleaning business startup checklist. So, this is what I used when I got my business started. So, I just want to share with you a couple things that are going to be super helpful for you if you're just getting started. So, here is the cleaning business startup checklist. So, first thing I would do is check out your local small business administration in your area to see if they have any free information or coaches that you can work with there. They might be able to have someone that's really good at Facebook advertising or someone who's good at marketing or someone who can direct you on, some of these other items that are on here, even putting together business plans and things like that. So always good to check with the local SBA. The second thing you're going to want to do is start thinking about what is the name that you want to select for your company. So I always say to use something that's simple, that's easy to remember. Don't make it too many like letters or tricky combinations. Um, you can also, don't forget, so like now the whole .com thing is gone and, but you can do, a lot of people are using .io, they're using .app, lots of different, website names that you can come up with. So two things that I would do is check your local, state website, on starting a business. If the name registration is already, registered in your area. The second thing I would do is check to see if that company name that you are selecting is trademarked. So my company name, Made for Time, is actually trademarked. So I get a notification anytime somebody wants to start to use that company name, and then I have to send them a cease and desist because it is trademark. And then the next thing I would do is just make sure that the website domain is available. So sometimes you can actually go to the website domain first, and I typically like to use like GoDaddy. You can go in there and see what name is available, and then you can select your name from there. Okay. The next thing I would do is decide what type of business structure you want to set up. So when you're first starting, it's not super important to have this, especially if you're cleaning on your own. If that's the case, you're most likely going to be a sole proprietor. But just take note that a sole proprietor is definitely going to have the highest taxable bracket. So they're going to take the most amount of taxes out of you. Most people go with an LLC or an S-Corp. So there's a link here for business structure definition. Most people go in as an LLC. An S-Corp means that you have to be on payroll. So a big difference here. Most people start off as an LLC. Next thing you need to do is go get your federal ID number. So even if you're using independent contractors, you still have to have a federal ID number. This is so when you go to file your taxes, it's similar to your social security number in that it's the social security number for your business. So you can go here to this IRS site and go register your employee ID number. So no, these other things have to happen first. So these, I mean, not the SBA, but you need to have your company name and your structure before you go get your EIN. Check with your state to see if there's any other business licensing that is required. Not everyone requires a license to operate a cleaning company, but some do. So just double check that. The next thing you need to do is check to see if your state requires you to pay sales tax. So I have 2 locations that require sales tax collection, and we have to pay that every quarter. And the tax rate is different for every single county. And then I have another state that I work in that we're not required to collect sales tax. All right, so this is important when you submit your taxes for the very first time. The local state tax jurisdiction is going to get your information saying that you're doing business as a cleaning company, and they are going to know if you have paid or not paid your sales tax. And even if you didn't collect it, they don't care. They're going to want their money anyhow. So just know that you definitely want to get this taken care of right away. Okay, so once you have your federal ID number and your LLC, you're going to need your LLC paperwork and your federal ID number paperwork and take that over to your local bank and set up a business account. So just make note that they are going to charge you for this account, but most of them are like maybe $30 or $50 a month right now. But depending on the size of your business, it could be more. All right, next thing that is super important is finding out if your state requires you to carry general liability insurance. You're also going to want to check for workers' comp insurance. So even if you have no employees, there are some states that require you to carry workers' comp, even if you don't have employees. So I know the state of Texas is one of them. So the state of New York does not require you to carry workers' comp if you're LLC and you're just doing a referral, but there are some that still do require that workers' comp. For liability insurance, I think it's just really good in general to carry liability insurance so that if anything does happen and someone wants to sue you, at least your business will be covered. Okay, so the next thing is develop record keeping for tracking expenses and things like that. So when you first start off, you can definitely use an Excel spreadsheet. I like to use Quicken Online because I can connect my bank accounts right to it. I did this when I first started my business as well. So I think in the beginning it was like free for 6 months or 3 months or something like that. So I definitely think the Quicken or QuickBooks Online is a good system to have in place. Okay, so most of your customers are used to paying either by Tap or Apple Pay or PayPal or Google Pay or Venmo. I mean, there's so many different ways you can take payments today. Stripe is going to require you to be in business for a while, and they are going to like warm up your account. So what that means is if you haven't been in business for a while, they see you as a high risk, but I think it's still good to get a Stripe account going or an authorized.net, whatever service provider you want to use. They are, of course, going to charge you fees, but so are the other payers. So Google Pay, Apple Pay, as soon as they realize that you're actually a business, they're going to start to charge you fees. But the easiest way to keep everything tracked is through some type of credit card processor. So we use Stripe, although I've used authorized.net in the past. So just a reminder, they do take a little while to warm up. Once you're warmed up with them, meaning you've been utilizing their service for a while, then usually your cards are charged on, say, Monday, and then on Tuesday you get the funds deposited. But in the beginning, it could take 5 to 7 days. So I always recommend that when you get started with this, that you like do a dollar charge, let that Stripe account get warmed up for you. I would go and grab some business cards. So how are people going to know who you are? They do have digital business cards now available on your phone, although I still like to have the actual physical business card in hand. You can go to Canva and design a card, or you can go to, Staples. They can do some design work for you. If you're not a designer, you can just pick one of their basic templates and add your name and phone number and website and email to that. And just always carry them around with you. Vistaprint is another good product or a website to go to get your business cards printed. Usually the first time you sign up, they're going to give you a bunch of discounts. They're always going to ask you on upsells like, do you want this? Do you want that? I would just grab what is important. What's important is just having a business card available to share with someone. All right, next item on the list is to purchase cleaning supplies and equipment. So I would just go and Google, best equipment and supplies to use for house cleaning. In some of my other lessons, I go through the actual type of products that I like to have, which is like a shark and a spin mop. We use a lot of basic stuff, but things that work. And we never use bleach. So I would never have bleach in your toolkit. Also, you're going to want a toolkit actually to carry around your products in. So I like to go to Lowe's or Home Depot, and they have these red bags that you can purchase to carry your equipment out around in. I'll try to add a photo of that to one of my other when I go over the tools and equipment, the supply list, and I'll see if I have a link to that. And the last thing on the list is once you got all that information, it's time to go start marketing your business. So how do you do that when you have low to no money? The easiest thing is just to go to networking events. So this can be like BNI meetings, which stands for Business Networking International. They're a global networking company. And if you just type BNI in my area, you're going to find them in your area. And the great thing is you can go and visit them for free, or you can become a sub. These are other business owners that are trying to get business just like you are. And the whole idea behind BNI is to get to know who these other individuals are, and they're going to refer your business to the people that they know, like, and trust. And they're going to do the same in return for you. Chambers are a very good place to go. Go check out your local chambers. You don't even have to be in that community. Like, let's say it's in a particular county, or town, Lake Nona Chamber of Commerce. You don't actually have to live in Lake Nona to become a member. You can just join, or you can go and visit their events that they're having as well. And then I would say start working on your social media following. So go and create a Facebook business profile page. I'm actually going to have another lesson on that, because it is a little bit a lot of information to put in there to create a professional or business profile page. What Facebook likes to see is a warmed up Facebook page. So again, they want to see that you've been in business for a while. So that's one of the things that I would do, is even if you don't have any information on there initially, maybe just your company name and website, just go get it created so that it can start to warm up. Okay, that's it. I hope this is helpful.